Hello, everyone. A very warm and hearty welcome to all our participants joining us today from different platforms, Biotecnika, Rasainika, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and all our learning communities across India and beyond. Please confirm quickly in the chat box if I am perfectly audible to you all. Good evening, Shibani. Good evening to all of you. All of the participants present here. It's really a pleasure to have you all here today. And we are very excited to have you all today as our audience. And we are all here for you in today's special mentoring session, that is AI in life sciences, biology, chemistry, and CRISPR. So you bring your answers and you bring your questions and you get real answers. Yes. Good evening, Farhan, Anushka, Anusha, Kshitij, Soumya, and to everyone. Yes, Soham, lovely to see you all here. So let me clarify that today is not going to be a very typical lecture session. This is your opportunity to directly interact with speakers and experts who are actively working in AI-driven drug discovery, computational biology, bioinformatics, genomics, cheminformatics, and CRISPR-related research. And honestly, I don't need to tell you again that this field is moving incredibly fast. A few years ago, biology students mainly worked in wet labs. Okay, now also they are doing, but most of our researchers are slowly moving towards now using AI models to predict drug molecules, analyze cancer genomics data, design CRISPR guide RNAs, and even reduce years of research work into weeks or months. So if you have ever wondered, can life science students really learn AI? And do I need any coding background? What skills should I start building? Are AI careers in life sciences actually real? And how is AI used in different domains such as cancer genomics, drug discovery, or CRISPR? Then today's session is exactly for you. And one very important thing I would like to say, since this is a mentoring session, so it's going to be highly interactive. So please keep posting your questions in the chat throughout the webinar. And no question, don't think it's too basic or too advanced. We are genuinely here to help you. Okay. And I also strongly recommend everyone to stay till the very end of the session, because many important student pain points will be discussed openly. You will learn not only from your own questions, but also from questions which others are asking, and we'll also discuss practical career paths, industry expectation projects, and skill building strategies. And we have a special surprise giveaway waiting for you at the end of the webinar, something which is career focused and genuinely useful for your future in AI and life science. So don't miss the ending section. And one more thing, exciting thing before we actually begin, we would love to see your mentoring session moments. So if you are enjoying this session, while you are in the session, you can take a screenshot, share it on your social platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn, and tag Biotecnika and Rasainika. And do mention one interesting thing that you are gaining from today's session, and best posts may get featured on our official pages. So now let us get introduced to our panel members for today. It is my extreme pleasure to introduce our special speaker for today, Dr. Ambuj Srivastav. Thank you for joining us today, sir. It's a great pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a few words about Dr. Ambuj. He is currently working as a data scientist at NextGen Invent, an INC 5000 company where he works at the intersection of AI, computational chemistry, and drug discovery. He completed his PhD in computational biology from IIT Madras, and before that earned his MTech in biotechnology from IIT Guwahati, along with a master's in bioinformatics. His research journey includes advanced work in AI-driven drug discovery, molecular dynamic simulations, virtual screening, admit prediction, protein-protein interactions, machine learning applications in chemical and biological dataset. He's also worked as a postdoctoral researcher at UC San Diego, USA, where he focused on antiviral drug discovery, machine learning for screening large chemical spaces, and predictive computational modeling. What makes Dr. Amul's profile very much important for today's session is that he represents the new generation of interdisciplinary scientists. He combines life science, chemistry, AI, machine learning, and computational modeling to solve real healthcare and precision medicine problems. His expertise beautifully will connect today's mentoring session theme, which is AI ML in biology, in chemistry, and AI assisted therapeutic research. We are very grateful to have Sir with us today to mentor our audience. Welcome, sir.
Thank you
Our
so
next
much.
panelist for Yes, most welcome. And our next panelist for the day is Mr. Prodyot Banerjee, Senior CRO Scientist at Biotecnika and a specialist in CAD, Bioinformatics, and Genomics. Welcome, sir. We would like to introduce a few words about you. Mr. Prodyot completed his MTech in Bioinformatics from Delhi Technological University and has qualified highly competitive exams. His expertise includes computer-aided drug design, molecular docking, molecular dynamic simulations, virtual screening, genomics, and GWAS analysis, AI integrated computational workflows. He has worked with premier institutes including CSIR IGIB, AIMS Delhi, IIT Madras, and CSIR CLRI. He has published research in high impact SCI index journals and has mentored more than 200 students in research and industry oriented projects. His work strongly connects AI with genomics, precision medicine, and computational drug discovery, making him an excellent mentor for today's discussion. Thank you for taking us time today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me at forum to speak. Uh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And our third panelist for the day is Dr. Shubhi Singh, who is also a CRO scientist at Biotecnika and a specialist in bioinformatics and computational drug design. A few words about ma'am. She has completed her PhD in biotechnology from SRM Institute of Science and Technology and has strong interdisciplinary expertise in molecular docking, molecular dynamics, structural bioinformatics, immunoinformatics, whole genome analysis, and AI ML applications in drug discovery. She actively works with tools and platforms like Python, RDKit, DeepChem, OpenBabel, ML models for virtual screening, and protein ligand interaction prediction. Dr. Shubhi has published multiple research papers in reputed journals, including Molecular Diversity, Journal of Biomolecular Structure and Dynamics, and Current Microbiology. She is also known for her highly practical and application oriented teaching style, helping students connect AI concepts with real biological problems. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. We're looking forward to your
Thank you
guidance.
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Without much further delay, let us proceed with the session. So, first up, we have Dr. Ambuj taking us into the beautiful this domain, with a short presentation on these particular topics that we are going to mentor on today. Over to you, Dr. Ambuj.
Thank you so much, Urmimala. Let me start with my short presentation and then followed. Let me share my screen first. Uh, yeah. Just to confirm, can you confirm if you can see my slide?
Yes, sir. It's all good.
Okay, great. So today I'm going to talk about AI in life sciences and the application in drug discovery and CRISPR technologies. So I'll be introducing you to the concept of what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is the application of drug discovery of AI in machine learning, and what is the application of AI in the CRISPR technologies. So starting with my introduction, Urmila already gave me a very beautiful introduction about me. I don't want to like give spend a lot of time into introducing myself again. But here is my academic journey. I did my initial studies in from Kanpur University, and then from Kanpur University I moved to IIT Guwahati for pursuing my masters in biotechnology, and then from there I moved to IIT Madras for pursuing my PhD in computational biology, where I studied protein RNA interactions. I did study intrinsically disordered protein, particularly how they work with protein with RNA to perform their function. And then after completing my PhD, I moved to UC San Diego, one of a very renowned universities of US, where I pursued my postdoc research, and I did actively took part in antiviral drug discovery, and I was working with coronaviruses, Zika viruses, Lassa virus, and few other viral targets. A very short use case I will also show in context of coronavirus here. So starting with my presentation, let me introduce you this is the content of my talk. So I'll be introducing you to the machine learning and AI, then introduction to deep learning, then application in drug discovery, and then the use case that I just said, the application in COVID-19, and then what is the application in the CRISPR technologies. So starting with the introduction to machine learning. So first of all, let's start with the buzzword that is being used a lot these days, artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? So for artificial, let's understand what is real. So real intelligence is our like a human mind. So we can understand, perceive things, and we can learn with time that okay, this is correct or this is wrong. Similarly, the artificial intelligence, our machine can make that decision, saying that okay, this is correct or this is wrong, or like whether we should move forward with or we should not move forward with it. That kind of judgment, if we can give to a machine, it is called an artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a really big domain where you can utilize the statistical models, you can do machine learning, you can do deep learning, and you can do a lot of other kind of modeling techniques as well, where to come up with the final outcome or making the machine learn. So let's start with the machine learning part of it. So machine learning particularly, this can be categorized into unsupervised and supervised machine learning. So what is unsupervised machine learning? Let's understand that. So in a classroom, let's say there are 30 students, and we want to understand or we want to group them together in a manner. So how would we group them? We don't know anything about the class. Then what we have to do is we have to derive the feature within the class. So we have to, let's say, check the height of the people in the class, or we have to check their gender, we have to check different aspects of like academic knowledge or different subject knowledge. Based on that, we can classify them into, let's say, physics background people, or people from biology, like highly evolved biology understanding, things like that, we can classify them. So here what we did, we actually learned something about the class without having any data associated with them. We directly calculated the data from the class, and we did the learning from that. So that kind of learning is called unsupervised learning. What is supervised learning? Supervised learning can fall into two kind of problem: a classification problem and a regression problem. So what is classification problem? For example, if you are let's say saying that a person who has gained marks above 50, he is pass. If somebody gained a marks below 50, he's failed. So here the you can say there's a binary distinction that somebody is either pass or fail. There's nothing in between. So similarly, for a drug target, what we can say is a molecule is either active or inactive. Or in case of, let's say, another case of toxicity, we can say a drug molecule is either toxic or non-toxic. Such kind of questions we address in classification problem. There are multiple algorithms. I have listed the algorithm down here. I'm not going to talk detail about the algorithms here. We can definitely discuss offline. But apart from like classification problem, we have the third problem, that is regression analysis. So what is regression analysis? When we predict the real value of the of some property. For example, if we are going to calculate the affinity between protein and a drug molecule, we can say that okay, the affinity, the amount of energy it will take to break down that particular molecule is 2 kilocal per mole, or 2.3 kilocal per mole. So what if we are predicting this? What we are predicting, we are not saying that positive or negative or pass or fail. We are saying that 2.3. So this kind of problem is comes under regression problem. So okay, so here what I did is I actually took a random data set, and I like put all like with my Python function, I applied multiple kind of machine learning algorithms, and like predicted. So I just wanted to show you what is the difference between classification and the regression problem. In the regression problem, what we have is, like, let's say there's a real value of the feature, and then there is a predicted value of the feature. The real value of the feature should match, like should have a very good correlation with the predicted value of the feature. So if the correlation is very good, we can still come up with the exact value of that particular feature. So here, when you see graphs like that, when you see a problem like that, where you are comparing or plotting a regression analysis of doing the regression analysis of the data, those comes under regression problem. While in classification problem, what you would do is you will again classify the data as positive and negative. Like in this problem, I applied number of machine learning algorithms, and I found that support vector machine is the one which is getting almost area under the curve of 99%, which means that this is perfectly predicting the feature really very well. This is a random data set, so we don't have any kind of like, since this is a random data set, definitely the models already trained on them, and these model perform really good on them. If you have your own data set, the model might perform a little bit less, that you have to improve with understanding of the model. So okay, moving forward to what is deep learning. So again, when you say deep learning, there has to be something called shallow learning. So what is shallow learning? When you have like, for example, in the case of machine learning, what you do, you make an equation. Once your equation makes like is properly formed, you come up with a final number after the calculation. If the calculation is above threshold, you can say it's a correct prediction. If it is wrong, you can if it is below threshold, you can say it's incorrect prediction, or it's true or false. Okay, so this you just do once. When you do just one type of calculation or one layer of calculation, that kind of learning will be called shallow learning. What is deep learning? When you do the same calculation multiple time, and you try to understand different features or different aspect of it by using multiple neurons. Okay, So what are neurons? So these individual things that can be called as neuron. Once you input something here, you will see that every time there will be some kind of equation that will be solved in this one. That will the result of this will be passed to the second layer. Similarly, you will have multiple layer of equation solving, and finally coming up with a final answer saying that okay, this is positive or this is negative. So such kind of learning, where you have multiple layer of learning associated, you call it deep learning. One When you have just one layer of learning, you won't call it a deep learning, you will call it just a learning or machine learning algorithm. Those machine learning algorithm also do the same learning, but just they have the learning once and not multiple layers of it. So there are multiple kind of deep learning. I'm just mentioning the term so that you guys can go back and learn about them. So there is something called deep neural network, something called recurrent neural network, and convolutional neural network. So these are different in their architecture, and because of difference in learning techniques, you will be able to learn a different kind of data with them. Okay, so let's understand the application of machine learning, or let's say the complete AI in drug discovery. How what all things you can calculate in using AI in drug discovery. So, for example, this is kind of the steps of extracting a drug, or getting the drug to till the clinical trial. So what you initially do, you do a target identification. Then after, once you have your target protein, so what is target identification? Taking bunch of protein from, let's say, a virus, and which particular protein is kind of really useful for you, that you will take. Then that particular protein you will choose, you will dock bunch of molecule, do the virtual screening. Once you have a few final chemical molecule, you'll do the molecular design of those molecule. You can also generate newer compounds with that, if you don't come up with a already existing compound that is already docked. Once you come up with one particular molecule, you can calculate their properties, like admit property, or yeah, multiple properties you can calculate from them. Once you understand, okay, the drug is non-toxic, the drug is like better suited to administer to let's say go for a trial, or first in vivo experiment, and followed by clinical trials. You do like every step of it. First you do in vitro experiment, in vivo experiment, and then the patient trials. So once you have those compound, you do the lead optimization. So in every step you can apply AI. For example, these days you can also read the papers using AI to discover which target is the best, or you can like study the protein molecule and see which one is the most crucial molecule for a virus. You can do virtual screening using AI techniques, and so on. You can do almost everything using AI in today's context. So here is the use case that I am presenting, what I particularly studied in my stay in UC San Diego. So what I did is I took one protein. Using this protein, I took lot of molecules and docked them inside the pocket. I had one particular structure which was already like this. The first one, the gray color one, is the already bound structure. I first tried to understand whether my molecule is fitting well in that particular spot or not. Then I generated lots of analog compounds, and then also we had experimentalist collaboration, where we got bunch of result, like more than 1,000 compound which were active against this particular protein. Once we got a large data set to study, what we did is we actually developed a neural network model, and like understood how the like ROC curve comes for that particular model. Once we could make a good model, what we did is, in the next round of analog finding, what I did is like took all the library molecule, filtered them using different filters, and then I applied my machine learning model to first screen them to see that if the molecule is going to be active or inactive according to my algorithm. If it is active, like based on my model, if it is active, then I would ask the collaborators to test the next round of compound, and that way the kind of the result performance improved, instead of like going for just docking and affinity calculation. It's more informed calculation that we did there. Apart from drug discovery, I'm introducing you to how the CRISPR technology you apply this technique. So in CRISPR, what you do is there's a step-by-step process where the guide RNA, it guides the binding process, and once the guide RNA actually directs the protein, the other Cas proteins at the right spot, it will trigger the cleavage, and that kind of where you can do the editing, and you can get what change you want to make. For example, if you want to change a disease causing variant with a normal variant, then what you would do is you will design a guide RNA for particular that aspect. And in today's world, you can, like with AI, you can design these guide RNA really well, really easily. So there are different application of machine learning. For example, the first one being the guide RNA design. Other than that, once you have the result of this CRISPR, you can analyze the CRISPR screening results with the AI technique. You can do the target discovery. You can also do precision medicine. So how does precision medicine work? Once you have a particular spot that okay, this particular mutation actually exists in this particular patient, and you know that okay, this particular part of the DNA forms this particular protein. So based on that, you give the medicine for that protein which is actually being synthesized wrong in that particular patient. So that way you can map that which particular protein you have to target with your drug. So that's how the precision medicine work. So this all again, all these off target predictions or editing outcome predictions, those things you can directly do using the AI techniques. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ambuj, for such an insightful and inspiring session. And I'm sure our audience now has a much clearer understanding of how AI is transforming not only biology, chemistry, but also genomics and drug discovery in the world. The way you connected the industry applications and research challenges was extremely valuable and what it is actually about. So let's move on to the most exciting and interactive part of today's session, the open mentoring question and answer. I invite all our panel members to kindly join us on the days now. So this is your chance to directly ask your doubts to our experts. So many of you are asking us questions about the admissions that you want to get into in which college, BTech or BSc. So I would like to take this opportunity to announce that we will be having a college and degree selection special webinar with one and only Shekhar sir. Okay, so this is a highly exciting announcement for you all. So you can register for all that questions we will be answering over there. Okay, so you can follow our social media channel for the updates. So we'll conduct a separate session on that regarding all your college and degree selections. I know this is a very crucial time for many of you. So we in today's mentoring session, we will be mostly focusing on the directions of AI, ML, and the bio IT domain. Okay. So our first question is from Niladri Das.
So Niladri Das wants to know how to join a pharmaceutical company after MSc Chemistry. Please provide a roadmap. I would request any one of our panelists member to kindly address this query.
Uh, okay, I can go first. So, joining a pharmaceutical company, it depends. Like if you are trying to apply, for example, AI techniques in pharmaceutical, definitely there's a lot of scope these days. There are many company looking for initial drug discovery role where you have to just screen the molecule. You just have to understand what is their chemistry and how drug molecule interact with people. The roadmap, I would say, is you first try to build up the skills that are required. You present those skills based on the company, based on like what the job role is, and then based on that you build your skill exactly in that particular interface where you can put forward and say that okay, your skill match perfectly well with the position, so that it's easier for you to hire. To approach the company, I would say you go in their LinkedIn profile, to the HR's LinkedIn profile. You look for the positions. You can also write them a cold email, say, or a message in the LinkedIn, or an email directly to them, asking that you are looking for such role, and you have the desired skill, and you would like to have a position. They are definitely they will be happy to hire you.
Thank you, Dr. Amuj. That was a very practical suggestion for the roadmap. Moving on to our next question from Shubham. I am a BSc Zoology now and want to pursue MSc in Biotechnology. Should I do any computer course or AI course? I don't have basic idea about technology.
BSc in zoology, want to pursue MSc in biotechnology. Okay, so you want to come up to AI domain. So if you want to, so first of all, you have to decide yourself whether you want to come to the domain of AI or not, because I would say there is a lot of scope of directly going from MSc biotechnology to any industry you want or any academia you want. But if you are really interested in AI domain, definitely I would say that you start with basic computer course. You understand what a simple programming means. Maybe like it used to be C language before, but nowadays it is directly you can start with Python, which is much easier. And once you develop your understanding, a basic understanding, you can actually decide whether you want to actually pursue that particular domain or not. I would say it is more your own choice rather than anyone else's. So you have to understand whether that kind of choice you want to make or not.
Thank you, sir,
So,
for the
may I
guidance.
also okay.
Sir, Pradut, sir, please.
Yeah, just I wanted to add some of the points to it. So first of all, as you're from zoology and you want to shift it to MSc biotechnology, so of course you may do so. Second thing, as already Dr. Ambuj suggested, that first thing that you need to like specify that you want to get into the AI domain or not. Of course, in today's world, so everywhere there is a AI application. So first of all, you need to be clear with the basics, okay, basics and the principle understanding of all of the things. How does it work? And then you can apply the AI, because AI is just for the automation and ease of the things. Okay, let's suppose you have a bigger picture, like you want to be a drug discovery scientist. So for instance, so if you are like understanding the whole cascade of things that happens in drug discovery, so first you need to understand what is lead library preparation, what is virtual screening, what is docking, simulation, this, that, how do you validate those particular results, and then move on to the wet lab part of the things. Of course, wet lab is very important, okay, in order to validate all of the things after simulation and all. But if you are implying the AI part of the thing, so it would screen, or basically the virtual screening becomes very, very easy. Okay. So based on that, first of all, you need to identify what is the domain you want to expertise in. Okay, and based on that, if you want to get started with AI, of course, like you first need to start with the basic understanding of computers, and later on, of course, you can build with that particular basal label. After that, you can of course, build upon those particular skill set slowly and gradually, of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that add-on, Pradyot sir. Let's move on to our next question. So this is from Zafrin Rehman. Are internship training programs that you offer qualify as work experience? Shubhi ma'am, will you be able to throw some light on this,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, sure, ma'am, sure, ma'am. So yes, so the training program which we offer, like the which Biotecnika offers, it basically provide a practical exposures. You will have an hands-on learning. Okay, you will have like a project experience in the relevant domain, whichever the subject you are interested in, and like in AI and ML, like either in drug discovery or in CRISPR. Okay, so we do give support for the project experience also. Okay, into the relevant domain. Okay, and we do teach like the professional level, like whatever the AI and ML is that you needed to go for the professional level course. Okay, and that will help you to strengthen your like the internship which you will take it from us, that will help you to strengthen your resume or your CV. Okay, so it's like it will basically through that, like the it will be one of the thing, that the major thing that will help you to get into the job as well. So yes, we do. So we recommend like the tools and the skills and the whatever we provide, like the certification course that will help you and that will lead you to get a better job, and in the like it will lead you to a better job. Yeah, so that's what I would say.
Thank you, Shubhi ma'am, for the guidance. Proceeding to our next question, this is from Shubhadeep, and I feel this is directed to Dr. Ambuj. Sir, I am an MSc chemist passed out from IIT Guwahati too. What are the chances that these companies accept someone who have these skills without a PhD? Does they consider a chemist in these companies?
Yes, they do consider chemists in these companies. So again, so for example, there are companies which are working directly in the healthcare sector and doing a lot of AI. But then there are also companies which are also going for drug preparation, doing experiments as well. So if you have a company like that who is also doing experiment. I think one example could be Biocon, where they are also taking chemist role. There will be, I'm sure, there are many companies that they would consider chemist role as well. So definitely, you should be able to get. Since you are from a really good college, I'm very sure that if you put forward your skill well, you will be able to make it to for this position.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Hope that answered your question, Shubhadeep. Moving on to our next question from SHDA. What kind of job I should look for and prepare to get in the field of genetics? I'm currently doing BSc in biotech. So although this is not a core domain question with related to today's theme, but if someone can throw some light on this, please.
Yes, may I?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, so basically you're looking for like what kind of skill set you should be like getting to get onto the field of genetics. So first of all, it is not required that you need to do another course or basically what do you say, another degree to get onto genetics. Okay, so you can be like building up a particular skill set that serves the purpose. Okay, just like CRISPR is one of them. So like that aligns with our theme for today. Okay, not only CRISPR, there are multiple of such things because AI can guide in better precision. Okay, personalized medicine. Okay, so all of those things, those are also part of genetics only. And like better understanding of mutation. For example, if I have to give an example of alpha missense. Okay, alpha missense is a tool that can be used for your like identifying the missense mutation in a better way using AI. Okay, So of course AI can be integrated. Without AI also there are options, okay, but of course you need to get skilled in that particular domain. And what is the way to do that? I would say live projects. Okay, if you do not want to pursue another degree, live projects would be another way to get onto that particular field. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pradut sir, for this guidance. So, Pradut sir, if you can look into this as well. I have MTech in Bioprocess 2016 batch. Have career gap in biotech due to personal issues. Have 2 years experience in other field. Is there any chance to enter into biotech field? Please advise.
Yes, so you have a MTech in bioprocess engineering, I reckon. Okay, so you expertise in, I think, like bioreactors and those things. Of course, so that is a subfield of biotechnology itself. Okay, so of course you can get on to biotech field. There won't be any problem. Okay, just the thing is 2 years of gap, gap that is there. So you should be able to justify that to the HR. Okay, so if it is a genuine reason and if you have the supporting documents, of course they would consider that. And another thing that you should reflect or portray to the HR, that I was not sitting idle in those particular those particular days. I was doing something substantial. Okay, that would be another way to do. So like if you have done some project or live things, okay, or like done a upgradation training or this that, okay, so that would add. And you can justify that I was not sitting idle in the home. I was doing something something substantial, and I was trying to upgrade myself. And in that way, you can, of course, get onto the field that you want to. Yeah.
I would like to add a point into this.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir.
yeah, what I would suggest is like if you are looking, since you are already MTech in bioprocess, so you have all the qualification and definitely 2 year experience. Many people think that it's not a great thing, but what you can do, immediately is just look for some of the professor who is working in bioprocess or biotech, whatever field you want to work for. You just look for the different project the professors are working on. There are so many IITs, JNU, other universities. They professors always look for position. So you once you get into like an academic position also, you will be more active in the field, and as soon as you are active you are prepared for any role that you want. So then you can make a second switch to industry. What I feel is like directly moving to industry after an inactive period might be difficult because of the mindset, but a transition through academia might be a better choice.
Noted, noted. Thank you, Dr. Ambuj, for your insights. Moving on to our next question from Kashi Sharadhya. So, for a biotechnology background, what is the best pathway to enter clinical research? Okay, after a master's degree. Shubhi ma'am, any thoughts on this,
Yeah.
please?
Yes, mom, I can. Okay, so what I would recommend for stepping into the clinical research, so you can go for the basic foundational courses related to clinical research. So, like you can read about the clinical trials, or maybe you can read about the good clinical practices, regulatory affairs, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance. So these are the area where which you can touch upon. Okay, you can read upon all these things, and then you can try to get some hands-on or like the project experience. Okay, so if you get some project experience in this area, that will be added on into your resume, and then it will be it is a better way like to have some points from your end, and then you can move ahead for towards the industry or wherever you want to shift. Okay, so that's what I suggest. Like just have a look to the basics of clinical research, as I suggest a few topics, like you can look into all that, and then maybe do a small certification course on it, or like do some project, a small project on it, and then you can, or maybe like some internship, or it's like the clinical training program, or you can go for like some hospitals where they have like all these things, or like they teach you, or like even yeah, we Biotecnika also we do provide all these courses. Okay, so you can have a look into our Biotecnika website as well, and then you can opt for some project, and then you can go ahead with this. in your future, like in your career. You can pursue that in your future. Yeah, that's what I would
Thank
say.
you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Shubhi ma'am. Yes, you can check out our page for courses on the CR and allied fields. We have a lot other in those domain if you're interested. Okay, we have a very interesting question from Anusha. Could you please suggest is switching career from IT to AI ML in life science is a good idea in USA?
Yeah, very good question. But again, this is the same question. It should be a question to yourself, because IT, it's a very different domain. You definitely would expertise. I'm very sure that you are expert in IT, but for life sciences, you need to understand proteins. You need to understand genomes. You need to understand what is their concept, the mechanism of different biological aspects. So if you are, for example, doing drug discovery, you have to understand what are amino acid, each amino acid, what are their roles, how the protein folding happens, what like different aspect of biology on it. So directly switching to AI ML in life sciences will be a good choice only if you yourself are comfortable in biology. In USA, there are so many companies, so many startups, there are so many opportunities that you can get. But definitely, it's again, I would say, question to yourself that do you want to choose the field of life sciences or not?
Right, right. Very rightfully said. So many of the questions are actually like this, where you yourself need to decide first. So
Exactly.
thank you, sir, for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also
So we
totally agree
have,
with that. Yeah, sorry.
please, sir,
Yeah,
please
I
go ahead.
totally agree with Dr. Ambuj what he said that in biology, the primary thing that you need to understand is the biological data. So you might be thinking that the pipeline would be same, only the data is going to change. But yeah, of course, the data is going to change, but like because of the change in the data, so there would be multiple of the things that would change simultaneously. So that is why you need to understand the biology, multi-omics analysis, how one thing triggers another thing. Okay, so those things you need to understand, and based on that, you can switch. If you are good with that, if you have a good understanding of molecular biology as a whole, multi-omics analysis, and the cascade of the things, so then of course you can proceed for the switch. Else, I would not recommend that. Thank you.
Right, right. Thank you, sir, for the insights. So we have a very important question coming up next. For a biotechnology graduate entering AI/ML and bioinformatics, are practical skills, projects, and internships enough for good job opportunities, or is pursuing MSc generally necessary?
Amir?
There's, yeah.
Yes, please.
Please. Okay. Okay, I'll take this first and then you can go. What I would say is, since you are already biotechnology graduate, you must be having the understanding of both bioinformatics as well as biology part of it. So I don't think that MSc particularly would be mandatory, but it will enhance your skill like as much as you go a little deeper understanding this. Like again, there will be a question that which field you are choosing in MSc. So if you are choosing relevant field, MSc in bioinformatics itself, you will understand a little bit more, and as you grow, your skill will be reflected in your resume, and you will be able to make a job really easily than like just a BSc in biotechnology. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ambush. Any insights for that, sir?
Yes, yes. So continuing with the same, so yeah, I feel that the bachelor's is a like jack of all trades, master of none. So what happens is of course you can like upgrade yourself and have the skill set, and of course you can get placed if you have done any professional course, like the bachelor's also if you have done any professional course. But if you can pursue a master, so that would give you a like specificity to a particular field. Just like how Dr. Ambuj also mentioned that MSc in bioinformatics or the allied fields like data science nowadays also we have. Okay, so biological data science or computational biology and likewise. So those fields would give you the opportunity to explore all of the data at the academic level, and then of course you can imply those particular knowledge in the industry scale. Okay, because as you know that there are scale of the things, like we have a pilot scale thing, industry scale thing. So of course you can like directly jumping onto that may be a bit tricky for you. So yeah, I would recommend MSc in the allied field, or the like to gain more expertise on it, and then switching on to an industry, so that would be better.
Thank you, Pradeep sir. So moving on to our next questions, we're having a lot of questions. So thank you so much for the overwhelming response, but please do understand that we have certain time limits. So we would take up last 10 questions, more 10 questions we can take, and then we would have to conclude. So our next question is from Farm D. I'm doing Farm D. What are the chances that I'll get this opportunity? I am a Farm D intern at Bengaluru. Shubhi ma'am, if
AI?
you can
Yeah,
guide on this, please.
yeah, yeah, sure. So yes, so if I tell you, so like you are a PharmD intern currently, okay, so you have a lot of job opportunities. Okay, so if I suggest like you can step into the pharmacovigilance, like the drug safety, because you're from the pharmacy background, so you can step into that, or maybe you can step into like the regulatory affairs or the clinical data management. Okay, you can step into medical coding. So you have like ample of opportunity to step into. You can step into any of the allied science fields, okay, like the job, like the healthcare in IT and AI in healthcare, okay, or it's like even if you step into like AI and ML, so you can go to like healthcare, okay, so where they are using like AI and ML in healthcare, okay, or the hospitals, like the for the data management, okay, so you can go for QA/QC roles as well, okay. Then if you are like if you have some additional skills, if you are getting like suppose some certification course or something, you are doing it, you can start you can step into like the computational drug discovery scientist, or that sort of jobs, or like healthcare analytics. Okay, so there are many more. There are ample of job opportunities which you have it after your PharmD course. Okay, so these are like there are many more. So the correct way is like you need to find the perfect opportunities which you can grab it. Okay, you can step into pharma IT also, right? So there are many more opportunities which you can step into. Like you can step into the, you can get some more skills if you want to step into AI and ML. You can get some more skills, and then you can step into AI and ML side, and or else if you want to be in the Farm D related field. So as I have mentioned, few of the job opportunities you can step into that. Yeah. So that's what I suggest.
Thank you, Shubhi ma'am, for the guidance. So we have a question from Shetty saying, I am in first year BSc. I am preparing for IIT JAM. I want some. I want to become research pharmaceutical drug scientist. Wow. And I want to do PhD in ETH Zurich. Please give me roadmap. He also has some follow-up questions as well. Tell me the AI tools that I could develop so that I can get selected to ETH Zurich and can do PhD medical and pharmaceutical chemistry and have a better future in pharmaceutical and medical chemistry. As a first year, your vision is super. So, can any of our mentors please guide here?
Okay, so I can guide a little bit. Probably this is one of the very specific question, a specific domain question we have here. So since you are specifically looking for ETH Zurich, ETH Zurich do have a very, like a very nice research facility, and they offer a very good salaries also when you go for PhD or postdoc. So definitely it's a very good aim, but it is very difficult to enter into ETH Zurich. You can, there are Swiss government scholarship that you can apply for, but before that you have to like convince a professor from anywhere from Switzerland. Like if you are specifically targeting ETH Zurich, definitely from ETH Zurich. uh, those scholarship, if you get, then you can like directly move for PhD there, and then you can like that's how you can do it. There is no I think you have to prepare for TOEFL, and Maybe some professor asked for GRE, but it is not mandatory. GRE is not necessary for that. So it's just that if you're what you do now, if you can build your career, if you can build your research expertise in particular domain, and you can pitch forward that to a professor at ETH Zurich and say that, okay, see, this you were working on, and I have done so much of work. I have published research paper in this journal, that journal, which is aligned with your what the work that you are doing. Then it will be easier for you to like write a Swiss government fellowship, or any other scholarship that they would recommend you to write, and then it is easier for you to go there. But otherwise, like having a very specific college in mind, I would say it's a difficult path to like step into.
Thank you, sir, for the guidance. Anyone wants to add anything, or can we move on to our next question, please? Then, okay. So our next question is, yeah. So this is from Jyotirmay. As an MSc Bioinformatics student, which technical skills should be prioritized for AI-based life science research? Very applicable question for today's theme, since it is talking about our CRISPR therapeutics or gene editing, or even in cheminformatics, drug discovery. So can any of our mentors throw some light on this, please?
Yes, may I?
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yes, so the same answer that we are reiterating from previous, that of course first you need to confine the fact that where do you want to go. MSc Bioinformatics, again, Bioinformatics domain is huge. Okay, so which particular domain you want to step into, and where do you want to get a job in. Okay, so based on that you need to prioritize the skill sets. Okay, so one problem that I have seen in most of the student is what they do is, when the job opportunity opens, they go to the JD, they see the skill set, and they start preparing thereafter. By the time you are having the skill set, the job is gone. Okay, so what you need to do is, first you need to enlist all of the skill set that is required for your particular job that you want to pursue. Okay, based on that you need to prepare, and once that particular opportunity comes in, you need to step up and get on to grasp that particular job opportunity with both hands. Okay, so in particular, let's suppose I take an example of a domain. Okay, so if I take an example of a domain for, let's suppose, structural bioinformatics. Okay, so if I take the example of structural bioinformatics, you need to expertise on AI-based tools like your AlphaFold, AlphaMessense, or any part of deep learning. Okay, because deep learning is too much in use. Okay, deep learning, then convolutional neural network. Okay, in order to identify pattern from the images. Okay, so or basically, let's suppose you are going into medicinal bioinformatics, or basically image. Nowadays, we have image recognition based technologies like MRI, CT scan, PET CT scan, this that for your analyzing the early onset of cancer. Okay, for that again, all of the neural networks, I would say that the more of the neural networks knowledge would be required. But the same thing again, in order to get on to the neural networks, first you need to learn the machine learning. Inside that you have deep learning. Inside that, of course, that architecture is being followed by the neural networks, so you have to be expertise on the deep learning. Then you move on to the neural networks, and slowly and gradually you get that particular expertise, and with those particular skill set, whatever job opportunity comes in, you may apply for that. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
That's a very good practical guidance. Thank you, Pradyut sir. Okay, so we have a question after so long time on CRISPR. But before moving on to this question, we have several questions on Kashish Aradhya, whom we answered few time back. She has asked us to do a session on clinical research. So feedback taken. We will definitely do that. We keep doing it time to time. So follow our, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and definitely you will get updates about our all our live sessions. Okay, and please subscribe to our newsletter also for any other webinars or seminars that we conduct. We always send updates on this. And someone who is saying that, is there anything for Informatics beginner level, we definitely do have, and please stay here till the end. And today we definitely have something which will be very useful for AI/ML and Chem Informatics as a beginner. Okay. Okay, so here is our question from BT Neha. Completed MSc Biotechnology and hold a certification in CRISPR and NGS, but theoretical with limited hands-on experience. So, are there any firm or institutes who absorb freshers for practical training? If someone can please guide here, please.
This may,
Yes, sir, please.
yeah. So I think Biocon is having a certification course for the same. Okay, and if you are talking about AI part of the things, we also do. Okay, and if you're talking about the wet lab part of it, of course, Biocon is there, Syngene is there. Okay, and yeah, so those are the institute that you may look for. Prima's Life Sciences is also there, industry based if you are looking for. Okay, and MedGenome, of course, is there. But apart from that, like AI part of the things we do cover very well. Okay, but for wet lab, I was just telling you that if you are looking for a wet lab based thing, so then they can help you out in that particular tangent.
Right. So, as we all know, that wet lab and dry lab goes hand on hand in these
Yeah,
days.
one more.
So,
Sorry, I just
yes.
remembered one more. CSI or IGIB that I used to work in. So of course they also provide because they are one of the finest genomics institute in Asia. So they do provide CRISPR and NGS both. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, as we all know, wet lab and dry lab goes hand in hand now. So, as of now, if at the moment you're not able to join any wet lab training, then you can certainly utilize this time. This is a very good time to utilize and gain the dry lab component knowledge, right? Because what you need is to work on real data sets, especially with CRISPR. So, we have an upcoming course on AI/ML in CRISPR, genetic analysis. So, there you can work on projects which are directly related to CRISPR. You get to learn the tools which are used in this AI/ML domain. So I think that will be really helpful for you. Okay, I hope that answered your question, BT Neha. Moving on to another question from Vivek Joshi. Hello, sir. I am an organic chemist and having 15 years of experience in pharma R&D. How do AI be useful in my career? A very important question. I'm sure many of you must be wondering this part. So, Shubhi ma'am, any insights on this, please?
Yeah, yeah, sure, ma'am. So yes, so as you are telling that you have like 15 years of experience in organic chemistry, and then now you want to step towards and you want to switch towards AI, right, in your career. So yes, it is going to be a very helpful for you because nowadays the pharma industry, they are mostly moving towards the AI and ML based. Again, if I tell you, if you take this process of drug discovery, so if you go by step, so it's like in earlier days it used to take around 10 to 15 years for one drug to come into the market, and it used to take around like millions and billions of rupees, right? But now with the help of the AI and ML, we are making this work easier. We are making it much more faster. So that's why like AI can help you in several areas. Okay, so as first one is I can tell you the AI assistant drug discovery process you can go for, like it will faster your lead optimization process, or if you want to go for the molecular optimization, or you want to go for the structural activity relationship, that is a SCR prediction. Okay, or like if you are doing like the virtual screening, so like earlier times what we used to do, we used to test like for each and every compound, as you're from a pharma side, so you must be knowing that, right? So we used to test like each and every compound in the wet lab level, and then only we used to take that compound further for the clinical trials, right? Or maybe for the in vitro and in vivo studies. Whereas with the help of the AI, what you can do, so you can make the virtual screening faster. Okay, you can, like suppose you have like millions of compound, you can screen them within like 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so that compounds get screened and you will have the lead compound with you. Okay, you can do the molecular docking faster. Okay, you can perform the ADMET studies. Okay, so with the ADMET you can scrutinize a compound which is a toxic one and which is a non-toxic one. So you will take the non-toxic compound and you can go ahead for your drug design process, right? So in especially in the case of drug designing, it is a very most and very important to like now, as I told, like the industry is more of the most of the industries are moving towards AI. So yes, it is definitely going to help you in the future. Okay, if you are gaining an AI and ML experience, so it will be helping you to the molecular designing and in the AI ML and drug discovery based studies. Yeah, so it will be useful for your future. Yes, that's all.
Definitely, definitely. Even I do agree on this. Thank you, Shubhi ma'am. So we can take up last three questions more, okay, before we end. So we have the next question from Taliran. Hi, I'm Taliran, an MSc Biotechnology graduate seeking a pharma job. I have skills in molecular docking, antimicrobial activity, drug analysis, and pharmacokinetics. What skills should I improve more?
Yeah, may I?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes. So I think you already have the required skill set. It is just you need to brush up those particular skill set. One thing I would suggest you to add is like molecular dynamic simulation would be the thing. Okay, in order to validate the things in the dry lab part. Okay, or if you are pursuing wet lab, of course, in vitro, in vivo studies, and likewise. So those skill set you may add, and all of the virtual screening parameters, because you have already mentioned pharmacokinetics, so of course pharmacodynamics and kinetics both are being taken care of by the means of ADME and okay. So like, yeah, I think all of the required skill set you are already having. You just need a brush up of those particular skill set, and you should be very good at it. Not only the certification or the practical, like you are having some hands-on, but you cannot solve all kind of problem that comes in your way. Okay, so you should be able to know what are the different ways to do docking. What is a like multi-ligand docking? How to pursue that? What is a blind docking? What is a site-specific docking? What are the different ways how you can do a docking or simulation or drug analysis? What are the different ways? What is the ligand based drug designing? What is structure based on this, that? Okay, so likewise, so you have to get into the core of it. Okay, yeah, that's it.
I just
Thank
want
you.
to add one thing here.
Yes, sir.
When you ask what skills should I improve, the question should be specific to why do you want to include a skill in your profile. So if you are including a skill for, let's say, applying for a company, then first of all, look for multiple companies, what exactly they are looking for, and improve based on that. You have a lot of skill set already. So if like let's say a company lies within your skill set and they can provide you a platform where you can gain more skills, it will be good for you. If it is if you think that okay, there is something, some crucial part is missing, you just add that particular skill and just start working for it. For academia, I would say for most part, if you are going for like any project, definitely your skill set is already good enough. So see like why you want to improve over your skill set, and what exactly, like you have to again analyze yourself and say okay, this particular skill set would be very crucial, then improve, then add those skill set only.
Thank you, sir, for adding up to those. Okay, so our second last question from Remis. Hello, sir. I'm a botany graduate. In fact, someone also asked about microbiology background as well, and they want to enter this field. I would like to get a job in drug and vaccine discovery. So, can I take MSc Biotechnology as an asset for further job? So, please guide from botany and microbiology both aspects.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, may I?
Yeah, yeah, please, ma'am.
Yeah. So you are from a botany background and you want to switch towards biotechnology, right? So, and you are looking for a job in drug and the vaccine discovery. Okay. So here, like, you need to first like make us clear that you want to either go towards like AI or ML side, AI ML and drug discovery or the vaccine discovery, or you want to do like the in vivo and the in vitro studies. So here the two aspects are there for this question. So if you want to step towards like AI and ML, you want to go for the AI ML based drug discovery or the drug designing or the chemoinformatics course, then you can take MSc in biotechnology. Okay. But with along with that, you need to add some skills related to bioinformatics. You need to add on some certification courses or something like related to AI and ML as well. Okay, if you want to go towards the drug like AI/ML base. Whereas if you want to go towards like the wet lab base, if you're talking about, so yeah, so you, as you will take MSc in biotechnology, so you will have all the subjects, you are going to study all the subjects, right? So you'll have immunology, a lot many subjects will be there. And in that, like there you can like you can go like peptide based synthesis of a drug, or maybe you can go for like the nano formulation. Okay, so there are so many things are there in the wet lab as well. So in this way, like yeah, so if you want to step into the biotechnology with the wet lab, so MSc biotech is the best way. But yeah, if you want to step into the AI and ML side, yeah, I would suggest that add on some certification course that will be helpful for you related to AI, for learning you AI and ML. Yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Thank you so much, Shubhi ma'am. So we are going to take this last question now, and then we are going to end. Amrit, if we would appreciate if you could just pose the question once. So yes, sir. Sir, I'm interested in Rasayinika's AI/ML in course, AI/ML in Chem Informatics course. Please provide me how can I pursue and do good in my academics in biotechnology. Please take my question. Yes, so I think one more student also asked about this, that they are interested in this. So this was Shubhadeep also. I have knowledge of Python and interested in a Rasayinika's AI/ML course. What kind of project I should choose so that chances of getting a job is higher as a beginner chemist? So if we can address both of these queries, please.
Yes, may I?
Yes, Praditya, please.
Yes. So first of all, under Rasayanika, we have multiple AIML courses. Okay. So of course, so AIML in biology is there, AIML in chem informatics is also there. I think you all are referring to chem informatics because Rasayanika is more focused on the chemistry part of the things. Okay. So if you're talking in that particular tangent, of course, we do cover all of the things that are necessary. Of course, we cover the basic part of coding first, then we move on to the like how to use the codes, or basically what kind of a libraries would support to get you started with the AI part of the things. Okay. And then after that, of course, the chemistry knowledge and the molecular fingerprinting and this that RDKit and deep chem and those things. Okay. So how do you apply the AI ML algorithm or the pipelines in the chemistry? And of course it would be based on your research question what you want to pursue, but of course we have a initial course setup, so that would give you the holistic overview of the subject as a whole. Okay. And post that you can choose to get a project, so that would provide you a hands-on. Okay. And there we have plethora of topics, like 50 60 topics are there to choose from, so that are from very different domain. Okay. So of course, like within the chem informatics, but different sects it is up to. Okay. So you can choose, and you can choose your PI, and you can work with that particular PI. And of course, so see, it is not that we will be giving you a particular workflow and you need to work on that hard and fast. You have the buffer, you have your say, that what you want to pursue, what are the things that you want to do, and you can discuss with our scientists that what can be implemented in the real life, and in that particular way you can get a hands-on. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, sir. So with this, we come to the end of today's mentoring session. So let's quickly summarize some major takeaways, and I hope you have taken screenshots and shared in your social media platforms what you liked about today's webinar. And your surprise gift is also waiting, so be here. So our major takeaways for today's AI is no longer optional in life science. It is becoming an essential industry skill, and practical exposure, projects, problem solving skills matter most, as most of your mentors said, than any theoretical knowledge. So, skills you should start building right now is some coding knowledge, data analysis, visualization, chem informatic workflows, AI/ML fundamentals, research interpretation, and project experience. Even small, consistent learning today can create huge opportunities tomorrow. Remember that, right? So before we conclude, I want to quickly mention something extremely important from a career perspective. Many students think that I understand AI is important, but is the biggest challenge usually is Where do I start? How do I learn in a structured and practical way? So, to help students build real industry ready skills, Biotecnika and Rasayanika are launching upcoming hands on guided programs, that is AIML in Chemi-Informatics, which is starting from 25th May 2026, and AIML for CRISPR genome engineering, which is starting from 3rd June 2026. So these programs are designed with hands-on projects, live mentoring, real-world workflows, research guidance, career-focused skill development, and many more, especially for students interested in drug discovery, computational biology, CRISPR, genomics, AI-driven healthcare, and interdisciplinary biotech careers, right? So now it's time for the surprise gift that we promised. So we are sharing a very valuable career resource with you all in the comments section right now. You can just copy the link quickly, the one which would be shared in the comment section. You can just have a look at it. So copy the link and make good use of it. It won't be available anymore once we end this session. So this is a specially curated resource related to AI and computational chemistry careers. And honestly, you usually don't get this kind of practical career handouts easily elsewhere. You get this only at Biotecnika. So we hope it genuinely helps you in your learning journey. On behalf of Biotecnika and Rasayanika, I would like to sincerely thank our special speaker, Dr. Ambud Srivastava, today. We do understand you have taken out time from your very busy schedule, sir, and the insights that you shared was truly eye-opening and very encouraging. Thank you for your time today, sir.
Thank you so much.
I al-
It
yeah,
was
and
wonderful. I
all
really enjoyed the session.
yes, we did have a lot of fun with the questions, and we have some very interesting students' vision, especially that first year BSc student. Yeah, and thank you so much, Prodyot sir and Shubhi ma'am, for your wonderful insights on the students' queries. I'm sure they have got a good guidance. We overall experience an engaging, practical, and very insightful mentoring session. And of course, a very huge thanks to all of our participants for joining us and for all asking all your thoughtful questions and making this session super interactive. I'm sure today's discussion has given many of you more clarity, confidence, and direction regarding AI careers in life science. So if you found this session helpful, do share it with your friends and classmates as well, because many students are still unaware of how rapidly AI is transforming biology, chemistry, and CRISPR research. So do educate them. The link of our surprise gift is still there. Copy it. We are about to end the session. And do share your feedback in your social handles. We would definitely love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone, once again. Have a wonderful day ahead. And we hope to see you in our upcoming sessions soon. Goodbye. Good night.
Thank you all.
Good night. Thanks.